Ada, Bola, and Chika sit in tense silence. Their eyes are locked on each other, a mix of disbelief and anger on their faces. One of them speaks, her voice low but firm. So it's true. We've all been engaged to him. Deji was a man who lived for the thrill of having it all. He was wealthy, charming, and unapologetically arrogant. His business empire stretched across River Town, with everyone in the city either wanting to be with him or be him. He loved the attention. Deji had always been the life of the party, the guy everyone wanted to be around. Whether it was a rooftop bar, a private club, or one of the fancy lounges in Rivertown, Deji and his cycle of friends were hard to miss. They were the city's elite men who measured success in the size of their bank accounts and the beauty of the women on their arms. But unlike his friends, who flaunted tall, slim models, Deji had a unique preference that made him the subject of curious glances and whispered conversation. Plus size women, bro. His friend Femi had teased one night as they sat around a sleek VIP booth, glasses of whiskey in hand. I mean, no judgment, but it's different. Deji shrugged, a sly grin playing on his lips. Different is good, he replied. You guys can keep chasing after women who will spend hours worrying about their calorie count. Me, I like a woman who knows how to enjoy herself. Confident, curvy, and real. His friends laughed, though they often struggled to understand Deji's obsession. What they didn't know was that his preference had deeper roots, ones Deji himself didn't often acknowledge. Deji's childhood had been far from the polished image he projected as an adult. His mother, a vibrant and kind-hearted woman, had been the center of his world. She had a warm, curvaceous figure, and her laughter could light up a room. But Deji lost her when he was only 10, after a long battle with illness. Her death left a gaping hole in his life and in their home. Deji's father, a stern and practical man, struggled to raise his son alone. He threw himself into work, leaving Deji to fend for himself most days. But when his father wasn't working, he was entertaining, and the women he entertained were plus size. At first, young Deji didn't understand. He would sit quietly in the room, hearing the laughter and clinking glasses from the living room as his father entertained yet another guest. Sometimes, the women stayed the night. Deji would catch glimpses of them in the morning, wrapped in silk robes, their voices filling the house with soft laughter. As the years passed, Deji's fascination grew. The way those women carried themselves, the confidence, the sensuality, the way they seemed to bring life back into the house, left a mark on him. He began to associate their presence with comfort, power, and allure. What started as innocent curiosity soon turned into something deeper. By the time Deji was a teenager, he was actively drawn to plus-size women, though he never admitted it to anyone. Deji's world was all glitz, power, and shallow relationship. In the midst of his whirlwind life, there was one person who had always been by his side, Amarachi. With her delicate curves, striking features, and an aura of quiet confidence, she was the kind of beauty that turned heads effortlessly. But what made Amarachi truly unforgettable was her heart. She had been Deji's anchor, confidant, and partner in crime since they were 6 years old. Deji and Amarachi met as children in Rivertown. Their mothers were close friends, and their bond was forged in shared afternoons of homework, mischievous adventures, and endless laughters. Amarachi was the only person who could match Deji's quick wit and charm. She was his equal in every way, though she often let him take the spotlight. As they grew older, their friendship deepened. While Deji chased success and admiration, Amarachi was his quiet supporter, the one person who saw it through his bravado. She knew the stories of his childhood, his struggles, and the vulnerable boy who still lived inside the man he would become. What Deji didn't know was that Amarachi had buried deep within herself was that her feelings for him had gone far beyond friendship. She loved him, but she hid it behind the comfortable mask of the best friend. To Amarachi, the risk of losing Deji's friendship was too great, so she stayed by his side, silently watching as he pursued one woman after another, never looking her way. Deji was a man of charm and precision, a planner who thrived on control. His lifestyle was a carefully curated masterpiece of indulgence and secrecy. He wasn't loud or brash with his affairs. Instead, he handled them with finesse that left no room for suspicion. To the women he courted, he seemed like the perfect man, attentive, generous, and full of promises. Deji had a rule: no unannounced visits. It was a boundary he established early in every relationship, presented as a matter of respect for his busy lifestyle. Each of the three women, Ada, Bola, and Chika, had specific days when they could visit his penthouse. He made each woman feel like she was the only one who mattered, showering her with affection, thoughtful gifts, and whispered promises of forever. Trust me, my darling, he would say, his voice disarming. This arrangement isn't about control, it's about making sure I can give you all of me when we are together. None of the women questioned him. Deji's charisma was magnetic, and his ability to make each moment feel special was his greatest weapon. Ada was the first woman Deji brought into his carefully curated world, a nurse with a kind soul and a penchant for selflessness. She had met Deji when he visited her hospital for a charity drive. His interest in her was immediate, and his pursuit was relentless yet respectful. Flowers appeared at her workplace, dinner dates were filled with deep conversations, and within months, Deji had slipped a sparkling ring onto her finger. You are my everything, Ada, he had told her as they stood on the balcony of his penthouse, the city lights stretching effortlessly below. I've never felt this way before. Ada was allowed to visit on Mondays and Thursdays. Deji always made her feel welcome, cooking dinner himself and listening intently as she talked about her day. Bola was nothing like Ada. Where Ada was reserved, Bola was vibrant and outgoing. Her personality was as warm as the cinnamon rolls she baked in her popular downtown bakery. Deji met her when he wandered into her shop one afternoon, drawn by the smell of freshly baked bread. Their connection was instant. You are incredible, Bola, he said on their third date. Smart, driven, and absolutely stunning. I don't know how I got so lucky. Bola fell hard for Deji's charm. When he proposed to her during a private picnic in the park, she didn't hesitate to say yes. She loved how he supported her dreams, often stopping by her bakery to help her brainstorm ideas for expansion. Bola's designated days were Wednesdays and Fridays. Deji always made time for her, encouraging her to rest while he planned their evenings. Chika was the third piece of Deji's puzzle, a talented fashion designer with a passion for creating bold African-inspired designs. She met Deji at a business networking event. He admired her ambition and praised her work, quickly positioning himself as her biggest supporter. You are going to take the fashion world by storm, Chika, he told her during a quiet dinner at his favorite rooftop restaurant. And I'll be by your side every step of the way. Deji proposed to Chika after attending one of her runaway shows, the moment captured by photographers, and Chika was overjoyed, feeling like she had finally found someone who saw her for who she truly was. Chika's visits were scheduled for Saturdays and Sundays. Deji's weekends were carefully planned to match her energy, filled with outings to art galleries and quiet evenings where he let her sketch while he read. She never questioned why he was unavailable during the week. Deji's undoing came on a Wednesday when Bola, feeling spontaneous, decided to surprise him with lunch. She knew Deji valued his privacy, but she couldn't resist the urge to see his face light up when she walked through the door. When she arrived, she saw another woman leaving the building, Ada. The two women exchanged polite smiles, neither knowing what the other meant to Deji. Bola brushed it off, assuming the woman was a neighbor, but something about her presence nagged at her. Later that evening, Bola mentioned the encounter to Deji. I saw someone leaving your building today, she said. A nurse, I think. She looked sweet. Deji's reaction was subtle but telling. He laughed too quickly and changed the subject, leaving Bola suspicious for the first time. It was a quiet Wednesday afternoon at Rivertown's bustling market square. Ada was browsing the spice aisle, trying to decide between two different brands of curry powder. She held the jars up, her brow furrowed in concentration. Bola, who had just entered the same aisle in search of baking ingredients, spotted her almost immediately. At first, Bola hesitated. Ada looked familiar, but she couldn't quite place where she had seen her before. Then it clicked. She had seen Ada leaving Deji's building just a few weeks ago. The memory stirred a faint curiosity in her, but she dismissed it. Deji had plenty of neighbors, and this woman could be anyone. Still, something about Ada's warm, approachable demeanor encouraged Bola to strike up a conversation. Excuse me, Bola said with a friendly smile, stepping closer. I couldn't help but notice you seem to know your spices. Which one do you recommend? Ada looked up, startled for a moment, before returning the smile. Oh, hi. I'm not an expert, but I always go with this one, she said, holding up the jar. It has the best flavor for stews. Bola nodded, picking up the same brand. Thanks for the tip. I'm Bola, by the way. Ada, she replied, extending a hand. They shook hands warmly, and their conversation flowed naturally from there. They talked about cooking, their favorite dishes, and the joys and struggles of living in a busy city like Rivertown. As they chatted, Bola couldn't shake the feeling that she had seen Ada before. Deciding to trust her instinct, she brought it up. You look really familiar, Bola said, tilting her head thoughtfully. Have we met before? Ada chuckled softly. I don't think so. I'm a nurse. I spend most of my time at the hospital or home. Maybe we've crossed paths somewhere. Maybe, Bola replied, though she thought of Deji lingering in her mind. Not wanting to seem nosy, she changed the subject. You're really sweet. I don't usually make friends in the spice aisle, but you seem like someone I would love to keep in touch with. Ada smiled, genuinely touched. That's so kind of you. I would like that too. They exchanged phone numbers, promising to keep in touch. Ada left the supermarket feeling a little lighter, happy to have made a new friend. Bola, on the other hand, couldn't shake the lingering curiosity. She resolved to keep an open mind. But the encounter planted a seed of suspicion. Over the next week, Bola and Ada texted frequently, sharing recipes and tidbits about their lives. They bonded over their shared love for cooking and their experiences navigating Rivertown's fast paced lifestyle. Their budding relationship, friendship, felt natural and easy. One day, Bola suggested they met for coffee. I know this great little cafe downtown, she texted. Their pastries are amazing. Trust me, I'm an expert. Ada laughed at the message and agreed. Sounds perfect. Let's do it. At the cafe, the conversation deepened. Ada shared stories from her nursing job, while Bola talked about running her bakery. The door to the cafe swung open, and in walked Chika, with her bold, colorful outfit immediately catching a few admiring glances. She looked around briefly before her eyes landed on Bola for a moment. Her brows furrowed in thought, then her face lit up with recognition. Bola, Bola Adebayo, is that you? Chika exclaimed, her voice carrying across the room. Bola turned her head, startled, but as soon as she saw Chika, a wide smile spread across her face. Chika, oh my goodness, it's been forever. She jumped up and the two women embraced warmly, drawing curious looks from the other customers. After the initial excitement, Bola quickly pulled out a chair for Chika, who joined them at the table. Ada, this is Chika, Bola said, introducing her new friend to her old one. We went to university together. Chika was one of the most talented designers on campus. Chika laughed, brushing off the compliment. Ada smiled warmly. It's so nice to meet you, Chika. Well, we lost touch after school, Chika said, her tone tinged with regret, but I'm glad fate brought us back together. The three women quickly fell into an easy reading, sharing stories and learning more about each other. Ada talked about her work as a nurse, Chika shared her journey as a fashion designer, and Bola recounted her adventures running her bakery. The atmosphere was filled with warmth, and the budding friendship felt natural and unforced. The women had grown inseparable over the past few weeks. Bola, Ada, and Chika, bound by their shared experiences and blossoming friendship, decided to treat themselves to a night out. They chose La Elite, a high-end restaurant with chandeliers that sparkled like diamonds and soft jazz playing in the background. The air was filled with the scent of rich, flavorful dishes, and the quiet hum of affluent diners. Dressed to the nines, they walked in arm, turning heads as they made their way to a cozy booth near the large floor to ceiling windows. Ladies, this is the life, Chika declared as she settled into her seat, her bold red dress making her look every bit of the queen she felt she was. No stress, just good food and even better company. Ada laughed softly, brushing a stray coil from her face. Finally, a night where we don't have to think about patience or charts. Bola smirked, adjusting her sleek blazer. And for me, no flour under my nails or people arguing over who gets the last cinnamon roll. They laughed. Their laughter, infectious enough to draw amused glances from nearby tables. A waiter approached with menus and they ordered drinks and appetizers, ready to indulge in the evening. The night was filled with easy chatter and inside jokes. They laughed about everything from Chika's disastrous attempts to parallel park last week to Bola's running with a nosy neighbor who couldn't stop asking for free pastries. But as their main courses arrived, the conversation took a playful turn. So, Bola said, her tone mischievous, what's going on in the world of love and romance? Any juicy updates? Ada blushed, swelling her glass of wine. Oh, you know me, same old, same old. Deji's being his usual sweet self. Chika raised an eyebrow, smirking. Sweet. Ada, I saw you texting him earlier. The look on your face was far from sweet. It was scandalous. Ada's face turned crimson as the other two erupted into laughter. It was not, she protested, though she couldn't suppress a giggle. I was just reminding him to pick up the package I sent to his office. Bola waved a hand dismissively. Please, don't even try to play innocent. We all know you are the romantic one in this group. Your man has you wrapped around his finger. And what about you, Bola? Ada shot back, a playful grin on her face. You are awfully quiet. Spill the tea. Bola leaned back dramatically, clutching her chest like an actress in a soap opera. Oh, me? Where do I even begin? Let's just say the bakery isn't the only one that's hot these days. Chika choked on her drink, laughing so hard she had to grab a napkin. Bola, what's gotten into you? Bola winked. A little flirting here, a little dating there. But don't worry, ladies, I'm keeping things classy. Chika took a sip of her wine, her lips curling into a sly smile. Well, since we are on the topic, I guess it's my turn. Deji and I are planning our pre-wedding photo shoot next month. The table fell silent. Ada blinked, her fork pausing mid-air. Bola's smile froze, her eyes darting between Chika and Ada. For a moment, the only sound was the faint clink of glasses from the other tables. Wait, Ada said slowly, her voice laced with uncertainty. Deji. Chika frowned, looking confused. Yes, Deji. Bola leaned forward, her voice low but firm. Chika, are you telling me the man you were engaged to is named Deji? As the laughter began to fade and the weight of their discovery settled over them, Bola leaned back in her chair, shaking her head in disbelief. All right, she said, pulling her phone out of her bag. This is too crazy. Let's confirm this once and for all. I have a picture of Deji on my phone. Ada and Chika exchanged nervous glances, their breaths hitching slightly. The air around them grew tense. Here it is, Bola said, turning the phone towards the other two. Ada's gasped with sharp and immediate. She covered her mouth with one hand, her eyes wide fixed on the screen. Oh my God, she whispered. That's him. That's Deji. Chika snatched the phone from Bala's hand, her face a mixture of shock and anger. No way, she said, staring at the photo as if willing it to change. But it didn't. The man smiling back at her, the man who had proposed to her, promised her forever, was indeed the same Deji she had seen Ada describe with so much love. She slammed the phone onto the table, startling the others. I can't believe this. I feel like I've been in a movie. Ada leaned forward, her voice trembling. He told me I was the only one. He said I was special. And me, Chika snapped, her anger bubbling over. He said the same thing to me, that I was his everything. Bola let out a bitter laugh. Ladies, welcome to the club. I guess we're all his one and only. This man is a certified player. The tension at the table was thick. Ada, usually soft spoken, was the first to break it. We have to confront him. We can't just let him get away with this. Chika nodded, her jaw tight. He thinks he's so smart, juggling all of us like we are toys. He needs to know that his little game is over. Bola smirked, the corners of her lips coiling upward in a way that suggested trouble. Oh, we are confronting him. Ada reached out to Deji. Using her usual soft tone, she texted him, I have a surprise for you, my love. Can you come to Lailit on Saturday evening? I've planned something special for us. Deji, always the charmer, replied instantly, for you, anything, my queen, I can't wait. The women booked the private ballroom at Lailit, the same classy restaurant where they had discovered the truth. They decorated the room in gold and white, giving it the perfect engagement party ambience. Invitations were discreetly sent out to Deji's friends, family, and colleagues under the guise of a celebration of love. The guest list also included a few surprise attendees, journalists from Rivertown's biggest blogs, and a couple of influencers known for exposing scandals. On the evening of the event, the ballroom was buzzing with excitement. Guests arrived in their finest attire, eager to celebrate what they believed was Deji's big night. The women arrived separately, each dressed in stunning outfits that matched the theme, radiating confidence and poise. Deji walked in shortly after, dressed in a tailored suit and flashing his signature smile. He was surprised to see such a large crowd, but assumed that or whoever he thought was hosting had planned a grand event. As he moved through the room, shaking hands and accepting congratulations, the evening reached its climax when it was time for the toast. Ada, Bola and Chika took the stage together, their presence raising murmurs among the crowd. Deji froze, his confident smile faltering as she looked at them, confusion flickering across his face. Good evening, everyone, Bola began, her voice calm but commanding. Thank you all for coming to celebrate the love of one incredible man, Deji. The crowd clapped politely, but Deji's discomfort was growing. Chika stepped forward next, her tone dripping with mock. Deji has been an inspiration to all of us, a man who can juggle not just one but three engagements with such dedication. The room fell silent, the weight of her words sinking in. Deji's eyes darted around, panic setting in as whispers spread among the guests. And we wouldn't let this night pass without giving you all a glimpse into the man behind the charm, Ada said, holding up her phone. On cue, a projector displayed photos of Deji with each woman, romantic dinners, cozy moments, and of course, the identical engagement rings. The room erupted in shock with gasps and murmurs filling the air. Deji tried to interject, raising his hands in protest. This isn't what it looks like, he stammered. Oh, it's exactly what it looks like. Bola shot back, her voice cutting through the noise. Three women, three promises, and one lying man. Chika added, her voice firm. We loved you, Deji, and you played us. But tonight, the game ends. The influencers in the crowd began recording, their cameras capturing every moment as Deji's reputation unraveled in real time. Guests whispered, some shaking their heads in disbelief, while others openly laughed at his predicament. Before leaving the stage, Ada looked Deji directly in the eye. You could have chosen honesty. Instead, you chose deceit. Consider this your engagement party, Deji. The only one you will ever have. With that, the three women walked off the stage, heads held high, leaving Deji to face the fallout. The story of the dream engagement party spread like wildfire. Social media was flooded with videos and posts, painting Deji as the ultimate player who got played. His business associates distanced themselves as his once flawless reputation was in shambles. As for Ada, Bola and Chika, they celebrated their victory with a private dinner the following week, toasting not to Deji but to their newfound friendship and freedom. They sat together at a cozy cafe a week later. They are laughing and clinking glasses, the weight of Deji's betrayal no longer looming over them. Ada smiles warmly. You know, I never thought something so painful could lead to something so beautiful. I'm grateful for you too. Bola chuckles. Who would have thought? Out of all this mess, we found friendship. And honestly, that's the best thing Deji's ever given anyone. Chika nods, raising her glass. To us, stronger, wiser, and done with deceitful men. Moral of the story: trust is the foundation of every relationship, and deception can never sustain true connections. Manipulating others for personal gain might seem easy in the short term, but the truth always finds its way to the surface. If you enjoyed this story filled with drama, laughter, and an unforgettable lesson, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more stories that inspire, entertain, and leave you wanting for more. Share this with your friends and let's keep the conversation going in the comments. Thank you for watching. See you in the next story.